Hello everyone, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. It still does weird things to OBS, things I've never seen any other game do. So it's a little bit hard for me to monitor the recording as I'm making it. And in particular, it's not tracking the length of the recording correctly, so I don't really know how long... I won't know how long I've been recording unless I look at my watch. It's currently almost... Well, I don't have to tell you what time it is, but I know. You sneaky hiding in there? You are. I've done this one, apparently, so not sneaky hiding that much. We were doing this area with the plan to maybe work up to this 7 and finally see what the developers of this game think is a really hard puzzle. It's gotta be a 1. That might not be a 1. It might be a circle. The 1 in the middle of it, actually. This can't be a 1 and it can't be a 4, so it has to be a ring, actually. That has to be a 1, so this can't be a 1, so it has to connect to at least these two shapes, or cells. Now that has to be a 1. This can't be a ring or a 1, so it's a 4. This can't be a ring because this delta would conflict, so it's a 4. That has to be a ring as well. Cool. Well, that has to connect up, and that has to connect up, so we need this to be a 3. This 3 can't go down, it's got to go left. You have this and this. These both have to go up, so that's a 3. This has to get out, it has to be a 3. Because of this, this has to be a 3. And that has to be a line. Oh, funny little shape there. It's a... I'm not much of a pentomino expert. What do you call this one? They got names for all the pentominos, I'm pretty sure. Is that an S, maybe? Or a Z? I don't know. Let's see. This has to go here. That has to go there. They have to be different shapes. There's no way this one could be this weird long boy, could it? No. So it has to be a 3. So this has to be a weird long boy, which has to be like that. Yes, that's true. By Delta rather, this also has to be 1, which has to be like that, I think. Yeah. This could reach here, but if so, it would strand this square, so that's actually just a 3. If this reached out to here, we would block this off, so that's no good. Today we're painting in all blues, apparently. Let's see, this has to come down. It could be part of a long one that goes over here. Okay. There have to be a number of long ones in this area because of all the deltas, right? Well, okay, this has to get out and this has to get out. So this is a 3. There's no way to extend this to make it longer. This, therefore, has to be a 5, which I think you want to do like this. Let's just see if that works. Yeah, it does. So in this area, there are 5 left. One of them is this tricky little 7, but I think it would be appropriate to do that one last, if I can find the rest. I'm not... This is not my favorite part of the game, searching for the puzzles. Okay, we have no shape bank. It's been a while. We just have deltas and Geminis, huh? So this has to be a 1. So these are each at least 2, but different from each other. So one of them has to be at least 3 long. It can't be this one because it's the same shape as this. Right? If this went down, this couldn't reach. If this went over, this would be cut off. So this group, this has to go this far. And I believe this one has to be finished, right? Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think I needed this delta constraint. Right? Couldn't you have taken that away and the puzzle would still uniquely solve? This being Gemini means it has to go like that? Uh-oh. I broke the puzzle. This is wrong. I can't put a corner piece here. Okay, starting over. That's gotta go at least that far. That's gotta go at least that far. And my claim was I had to do this. Okay, I mean, this has to go down at least this far, right? Clearly. Because it's the same shape as this. And they can't touch each other. Now, can this one continue down? No, this would be a problem, so we stop. Oh, maybe my mistake was I got this far and then said it's got to be done, but actually it can reach all the way to here, maybe? Anyway, it has to go at least this far. This one is done because it's Gemini to here. I see. Yeah, I missed that I could do that, I think. Okay, where might you have hidden some other puzzles in this neighborhood? I heard from the developer that... Yeah, in the Prismata Discord. That if you get to the end of the game, they give you some button that helps you find the puzzles that were hidden. Okay, there's one hidden here. You can see the little stream of light going up. Maybe I'll find this more fun than I think. Because, like, finding this is kind of cute. And I just saw this one. And it looks like there's one in there. Yeah, okay, so I found them all. Okay, maybe it's not so bad. We'll see. This can't be a 2, because then this would be trapped. So it's got to come in. Oh, what? Is this an F or something? I think this is an F pentomino. I think. I don't know. Well, it has to go that way. Yeah, all of these, because the corners have to come out and join. No, I can't have just this sticking out and this by itself. That's crazy, right? So all of these have to turn into Fs. This one, we know how it's an F. It's got to be like that. This has to be a 2. But this one could go like this, or like that. Either way, I suppose, it's using this space. That's sort of interesting. This is a... Oh, this is another F. So it has to reach out to here. Then it could go like down and use this. Or over. If it goes over, does that make any sense? Is this possible? It's not, right? I would need one of these cells, which I can't have. So actually that doesn't happen. It has to come down like this. And then I think it has to take both of these two, right? Yeah. So now this can't be part of an F, because it can't reach as far as this one, so it's a 2. Now we know what this does. Okay, and the region size I have left to work with is... This is taking up 5, so I still have 3, 7, 9 left. So I need one... In addition to this F, I need one more F and 2 2s. Well, this, as I've said before, has to get to here. The F kind of has this... one of these two, but definitely this one. Which means this can't be part of an F. It has to be a 2, which goes there. And so this is how the F goes. And that's my other F. Cool. Let's try a 4. I don't know if we've done a 4 yet in this little series. I did one 5 at the end of the demo. But I don't remember if I've done any 4s in the full game yet. Wow. Interesting that this is going to uniquely solve. Ah, right. Because of this Gemini here. These shapes have to be the same, which is crazy. So this one has to get at least large enough to find a corner in it somewhere. And it can't go there. And this has to be a different shape. So it can't be the same as this one. So this one can't get to there. So in order to have an L piece in it somewhere, I think it has to get to here, right? Now, I don't actually know which of these two spaces it takes. Could be both, but maybe not. Right, this could just be a little one piece. Or it could be a 2. But this has to keep expanding, because it has to get to some place where it can make this little F shape that we're going to make here. So it has to get to at least that far. And I suspect it's going to have to go up here. But that's not a proof. Now this needs to have this shape in it? That's so hard. It has to have a 4 long and a 3 long joining. Like, right? How could you do that? That's crazy. I guess you could do it here, and that's about it. But that's not right. Because the 3 that this guy has doesn't have a little knobbly thing shooting off of it. Now, I mean, this might be correct, but it isn't the way to get this part of the shape accounted for. I need it over here, like this? I think? Yeah, and that actually looks plausible, because now we're saying at the end of the long 4 thing, we have to have a little thingy sticking out, which is kind of what's going on up here, right? If I took this shape... That's done. I think this is also done, right? This has to be its own thing, because there's no place for a 4x4 square for this to take up. So I think we can do that. Stop making it blue. Oh, I have blue selected. I hate that, by the way. Oh, the colors are the worst. Just pick reasonable colors for me. I know, like, the 4-color theorem, but, you know, that they proved you can do it. The computer could just do it for me. I know that assumes the map is complete, right? And I don't yet know. It would be nice to be able to mark, like, oh, this is a green. These 2 green areas are the same, but you know, the coloring scheme of the game doesn't even allow you to do that, really. So I don't know. Just fix the colors as I join up regions. I don't mind if the colors change. That's my opinion. So okay. Now this area has to be its own as well, because this corner corresponds to here. And this, well, it's not part of this group. It could be part of this, maybe. But it's not, because this space corresponds to this space. So I think we have to do this, right? No, something's not right here. This? Yeah! Okay. Let's recolor that. Make it it's just like, okay, whatever. That was a good one. 2 left in this area. The one hiding in here. And then the 7. Which may be too difficult for me to do in one sitting. We shall see. I had some time. It took me some time to solve the 5. Okay, so we have squares and V's. So each of these little boxes is 3 by 3, 9 cells, must be 1 square and 1 V. And the deltas and Geminis are going to tell me where each is somehow. The middle seems like the best place to get started, probably. Just because there's the highest density of clues there. I mean, okay. In each of these boxes, the square will be what occupies the center cell. I don't think that's too important, but it is true. And then it reaches one of the other one of the four corners, but not the other three. Well, it can't reach this corner, surely. Because if it did, this would also have to be a square, which would have to be this, but then there'd be two squares touching. So this is part of the V. Which means this is also part of a V. I don't know a good way to mark that yet. I mean, maybe I should figure out how to use the notes. It was tab, right? Cycle? But I don't know what... Okay. Boy, this question mark. It is a question mark, but it's small. Q is paint bucket? I see. Fill this whole area. Whatever. Oh, middle click could outline. I forgot about that. And you can choose colors with... Okay, sure. So I can say those are connected, I guess. No, they're not connected. Is there really... I mean... Is there not a button for, like, switch to notes? Because these three modes, two of them suck. I never want this mode, right? This is just, like, draw... It can't draw corners? And this is, like, it can only draw corners? This is the only useful mode to select. But I have to tab 3 times to get there. So these are both V's. So what does that mean? Nothing really. I think the same is true here, right? And that's what'll be interesting? Maybe not. Let's see. If the square reached here, this would have to be a square and this would have to be a V. That's possible, actually. What if the V... What if the square went here? This would all have to be V. But that's not possible. Because then this would have to be a square reaching to here, but this would have to be a V. So this is also part of the V. And now we're getting somewhere, because this has to be part of the V, but this has to be a square. So this whole region is done. This has to be part of a square, so it's got to go there. So that's all part of the V. This has to be part of a V for Gemini, but this has to be part of a square for Delta. So that's the square. If this is V and this is also V, then the two have to be joined. So the square, the square has to reach away from the V. And now I know this has to be part of square as well. So this is V. These lines are not super important, but there they are. How do I finish up in this area? Like, this V could go here, or it could go here. I don't see an immediate problem with that, with either. If it goes here, this has to be the square. Which means this has to be the square. This has to be a V. This is a square. I don't know. I'll just try one. That's a way to solve the puzzle. It doesn't give me a satisfying proof as to why it's correct. Yes, now we run into a contradiction. This has to be square, and it also has to be V. So apparently we can't do it that way. We have to do it this way. Yeah, so that works. I don't really know why. And now it is time for the monster puzzle. Difficulty 7 is the highest in the game. These puzzles are diabolically tough. We recommend saving them until you've completed most of the game. As you gain experience, you'll learn subtle tricks to help overcome them. Well, that's good advice. I'll look around first. There's a lot here. How would you even start? Well, I guess you can do corners, right? Like, this has to connect to at least this much. And every corner has this constraint. Okay, so that's something, I guess. In fact, every wall has, like, right? I mean, yeah, I know. This has to connect either up or down. But, like, I know these two have to be connected. Oh, and this can't connect over here, because then this would be, it couldn't be a 3x3. Yeah, well, no, it could, because then we could make this shape, couldn't we? But this can't go down. It can't be the same region as this, because then it would be a 5x2, and that's definitely illegal. I swear, it constrains itself to there's like 3 variants of each color, but there are 8 base colors, and I've created like 16 regions, and it's only used 2 of the base colors. Like, it hates me and wants me to die. Maybe 3 of the base colors, maybe it's used both light and dark blue, I can't tell for sure. Oh, this has to connect up here, doesn't it? Yeah. And that means this has to be a 3 by 3, and that's done. And that's interesting. This has to be the same as this region, but different from this region. So these are not connected, which means this connects up. And then this region has to be different from this one, but it's the same as this one. So this does not connect up. So that does, and this is a 3 by 3. Now I have this. Oh! 2 by 4s are not allowed. There was one earlier I was looking at, this. I have 2 by 2s and 2 by 3s and 3 by 3s. I thought this was a 2 by 4 when I first started. So this actually cannot connect to here. Which means it has to go up or down. No. Okay. Well, I'm making a lot of progress, I think, for a puzzle marked diabolically difficult. And in fact, these can't connect up, because if they did, they'd be 2 by 4s, which at first I thought was okay, but as we've just discussed, is not. This can't connect up, I guess. I mean, I guess all the walls in the puzzle, like I could do this, right? These two are part of the same group. Not sure how useful that is. It seemed kind of interesting for interior walls, and it was fruitful in a couple places, like around here. But for exterior walls, not so much. Wait, what? I think I must have made a mistake. There's no way I can have a 3 by 3 here that Geminis with this space, given what I already have. Right? Because for this to extend 3 out. Yeah, that... Okay, hang on. So why did I think that? Oh, well, this is like the most straightforward and totally logical deduction. So I guess the wall I drew here must have been wrong. Because I definitely have this. And if I make this a 3 by 3... Oh, maybe I did that when I thought I didn't have a 2 by 3, and I thought if it was a 2 by 4... And since it was 3 wide, it couldn't be a 2 by 2 or a 2 by 3, and therefore I said it had to be a 3 by 3. Maybe that's what happened. But actually, it could be a 2 by 3. Yeah, because there's no reason for me to conclude it must reach down here, as far as I can tell. Okay. But these two regions have to connect, right? I mean, the problem is now that I've erased some stuff, I don't know. Maybe some of what I did here was necessary to conclude all this stuff, but I don't think it was. Well, it probably was. Oh, man. Okay, it'll be good practice for me to start over. So I have this. Do all the corners. That was valuable stuff. Some more than others, but... And the walls, the exterior walls you could do. Ah, now these can't connect. Because I can't have a 2 by 4. Okay. This, I suppose, can't connect either, for what that's worth. This can't go down. Yeah, okay. So it might go up or it might not. This has to do that. Right. And this has to come out to here because, again, all the walls, right? You have to be able to push out by one. Like, anywhere you're at a wall, you have to reach out because we can't have something skinny like this. That's not in the shape bank. So this has to connect to here. So this actually has to be a 3x2. I think I did that earlier and said, oh, it's got to be a 3x3 because I don't have 3x2s. I thought I had 2x2s and 4x2s. So there we go. Now this has to connect up. And we're back in well-defined Puzzleville, I think. This has to connect to here. And it has to be a 3x2. So it goes up or down, but who knows. This can't go that way, because if it did, it would be a 3x2 deltaed with another 3x2. So it might go up, but it doesn't go that way. Now this is another corner. Exciting stuff. This is a 3x2, and it's Gemini'd here, but this can't go up anymore, or left. It has to be like this. This one can't reach here, so it's got to go over this way. But it can't be a 3x2 because of this delta, so it must be a 3x3. This corner is promising. A 7 is very... It has to be a 3 and 2 2s, right? But I don't know where the 3 is. Actually, this is... Let's suppose I finished this region. Let's say I just proved somehow that this was a 2x2. This would now be unsolvable. There's no way you could decide whether this is a 3x2 and this a 2x2, or whether there's a 2x2 here and a 3x2 here. So I don't think this blue region can stop here. The puzzle would not be solvable, or there would be multiple solutions. So I think it actually has to extend out this far. Now, I mean, do I want to use that? Use all the tools at your disposal for a difficulty 7 puzzle, even the ones that some people think are kind of lame? Like uniqueness? Maybe. There's another here. There's 7 again. Okay, well let's get back to this, because since we know these are connected, I can do the same thing I did before to say, look, these two can't be the same region because this is deltaed to this 2x2 area, well, area that's so far 2x2, and this is Gemini'd to it, so they can't be the same shape. So I can do this and this. Now these can't connect because I don't have a 4x2 available. You're the same as this, which is different from this, so these two are different. So one of them extends out to here, but I mean, oh, hang on. So you're a 3x2, and you aren't. Not sure what to do with that yet. Because I know that just means this might be a 3x2 or it might not be a 3x2. It's either like, it's not the same shape as this, but that means it could be a 3x2 or it could be something else. It's not very helpful. Um... You have that. I don't think that's very fruitful at the moment. Well, it sort of is, isn't it? Because now this region is kind of in a corner, right? Or this cell. It can't go east anymore. So it has to do this. Okay. And it can't go west. Well, it could if this were a 2x2. Right. Okay. Well, let's go back to this symmetry idea then. Is there anything in the game that guarantees to me that all the puzzles are unique? Or is that just a convention that I'm unfairly assuming applies here? It doesn't say anywhere, I don't think. Yeah. The store page tell me? I'll have a quick peek at that. Yeah, the game audio stops. Boy, there's not a lot of text on the store page, is there? A lot of games just go on for hours about what the game is. This one has like 3 pictures and, you know, a couple very short paragraphs and 3 bullet points. I approve. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything. Okay, so let's... You know what would be nice is if I could like save my progress, save a checkpoint or something, and roll this back if it turns out I'm wrong. But I think, again, by uniqueness, we can't ever have this wall here. That just can't happen. Because this area would not... Yeah, so let's do this. Now I know this much. Does that help me somehow? Because I get this, right? Now I know this... Oh, wait a minute, that's impossible. Of course. I already knew this. There must be something wrong with my uniqueness argument, then. Because this is the same shape as this region, but a different shape from this region, so it can't reach there. This is done, and this has to come down. Oh! I could tell the difference if I knew whether that this was going down. Then I could tell this has to be a 3. I see. Yeah, so knowing whether this one goes down or not constricts whether it goes east. And that makes this solved. Okay, but at least thinking about that got me to what I was missing here, which I think I had before doing the reset. Okay, so this is the same shape as this. And this is a 3x2, so I have to do that. Now I have this. And this, so you're done. This is not a 2x2. But it's also not a 3x2, so it must be a 3x3. I mean, I would say I'm making a lot of progress on this puzzle for being diabolically difficult. You know, it's hard, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like I'm getting crushed. Maybe there's some key insight that I'll be missing later, but for now I'm doing okay. This has to connect up like that. We have to have this the same as this, but different from this, so these can't connect. These have to go there, actually. No. I'm doing that. Well, it might be interesting to fill in some 2x1 dominoes here. Yes, I know. Like that. I wish you wouldn't... Can I just turn that off? I'm just trying to say these are the same group. So... I guess importantly, this can't go out there because it would be a 4x2. These two are different shapes from each other. They can't connect. So this has to come up here. This has to go down. These two can't connect. So that's done. I don't know which way you're going. It's going to depend on what this guy does. So once I solve the outside of the puzzle, I get this solution. Okay, well, let's just erase that group then. Well, this is a 2x2. No. So this can't be a 3x3. I guess I'm not sure how important that is. In fact, it can't reach west at all, because then these cells would be screwed. There's a corner here. I love corners. How about over here? We have 8. It's 8 tall. That has to be a 3, and a 2. No, it could be 4 2s. Right. Okay. Drawing these little dominoes off of walls is really helpful to me. Because it isn't immediately obvious to me at first that this can't extend south. But as soon as I draw this domino, it's like, oh yeah, of course that would be crazy. That's never going to work. So this group is done. Oh. This area is 3 tall. Doesn't it therefore have to be part of a 3x3? don't both of these have to be part of some 3x3? They do, right? Now, they don't have to be the same 3x3. This could be a square here, and this could be a square there. But they have to be a 3. This is a 3x2, so it has to extend west or south. I don't know which. Feels almost harder to start here than it was at the start of the puzzle. Like, there's not a lot of clues left for me to solve this southwest corner of the puzzle. Is it possible I'm supposed to do this? I don't know. Well, maybe knowing this isn't part of a 3x2 is important. Because doesn't that mean it has to take these cells? If it doesn't, it goes over here, but then it can't go any further because it would merge with this. And if it stops, it breaks this. So I think actually it has to reach out this far. And then either grab these 3 to become a 3x3 or grab these 3 to become a 3x3. And that tells me what this is doing. It can't go down anymore. It has to go this way. I have a new corner. So you're done. You can't go west and you can't go south. You've got to go here. Actually, everything. Now this is more 3x3 strips. Look at this. Or 3x1 strips. And this one can't be a 3x2 because it's deltaed here. And it can go west, that's fine. But if it goes east, it joins into a 3x2 and it can't go any further east or west. So it doesn't do that. It has to go out here. Which means you've got to go there. And these are done. This has to merge with this, making a 3x3. Now this is finally solved. This is a 3x3. Well, this one's done. This cell has to get somewhere, and that can only be here. This is a 3x3, and this can't be a 3x3, so it can't extend any wider. So this has to get to at least here now. That's got to be there. We need to do that. No. No. This. Now, this can't be a 3x2, so it must be a 2x2. This is the 3x2. So now I know what this does. It's got to go up. Which means this does 2. Hey, I can do 7s. No problem. Okay, cool. I have gilded this area. And I think that is a good stopping... Wait a minute. Is that not... Is this not part of this? What are you? How are you not part of this thing? What are you part of? Okay, well, maybe I'll do this one before we finish up. This has to be a 4. You gotta go there and there. The puzzle is only 7 tall. I guess this could be 5, though, and 2 2s in the corner. These have to be parts of squares. These are non-squares, so for all we know, they're like doing this, but they could also do that. So we don't know. We can't draw any specific connections here. Oh, and there can't, of course, these can't connect because this is a different shape than this is. Right. God, would you pick some different base colors? What is wrong with you? Okay. And again, this can't work. This has to go down, right? Can't go over because this is in the way. So now these can only go up. And I've ruined the puzzle. Ah, they can be a square. I forgot about squares. That works. This has to be a square, so it looks like that. This has to reach this far. That goes there. And has to be, therefore, a square. I can't fit 2 3s in here. It's got to be a 5. That's, therefore, up. But these two might merge, they might not. I don't know yet. I can't just do this and say there's 2 3s. There could be a 5 and then a sticking out bit here. This is not part of a square, so it has to be a 3 or a 5, which means it can't go up. It's got to go that far, and it can't go any further, so it's a 3. This has to go at least to here. Means this can't be sideways. It can't reach 3. It must be a square. You can only be reached by this cell, which means you're a 3. This cell can only get to by here, so it's a 5, and these two do in fact connect up. Okay. So what region was this a part of? Oh! 33 out of 33 plus the 7 that you think is for the end of the game. I see. What are you? Oh, or maybe it's a secret one? Are you? Okay, let's do this one. See if it's... Is it +2? Am I a genius at finding things? This this is a funny puzzle. There's nothing so I could just do all like 1s except for these deltas. Well, okay. Could this be as long as 2? No, because then this would have to be the same shape. And also a different shape. So we can say this. That's definitely a 1, which means this is a 1. So this is at least 2. this can't be as long as 2 either, because then it would be the same. Yeah, okay, I think I get the point. The idea is anywhere you have, well, anywhere in a corner that you have a delta next to a Gemini like this, it can't be too long. But the same thing would apply here, so that I must, because, okay. No. This would be totally fine. And this would be totally fine. So what is it special over here? And was I just wrong? Hang on. Could this be too wide? Yeah. There could be a 1 here. No problem. And then this could be a 2 like that or something. Okay, so let's start in this bottom corner and make sure I got that part right. It's the Gemini in the corner that's important, I think, at the edge. Because if I make this too long, this has to also be too long. So here, when there's a delta in the nook, that's not as interesting. It's the Gemini in the nook that's constraining. This can't be too long because then they would both have to touch the same delta and be the same shape. So that's why I get this. And then over here, this one can't be too long. But not because of what's happening up here, because of what's happening down here. This would have to be the same shape, and then they'd be unhappy with each other. So we can do this. So this has to go at least that far. Likewise, this has to go at least that far. So these two, therefore, can't connect. They'd be delta'd and Gemini'd to the same region. So this is just a 1. This has to be at least too big. And this also has to be at least too big. These two can't touch because they're delta'd to... No, yeah, they can. This cannot be allowed because then this delta, this Gemini into here would also have to be a delta into there. So that's done. So this is a 2. And it looks like these are probably 3s, but I don't know yet. They could be... Ah, yes. Because if they were 2s, I'd have this, and then this would have to Gemini into a 2 somehow. Which you can't do. So those are 3s. So this Gemini makes this a 3, which has to reach at least this far. This Gemini is a 1. No problem. This is at least 2. And so is this. So that's at least 3. This Gemini is a 3 there, so that's done. That's a 1. This has to reach at least that far, and we're finished. It is. It's +2. So that's a little secret puzzle, huh? Well, this looks like a secret puzzle in this neighborhood. I guess what I would say is finding the hidden puzzles is okay. Looking for them is horrible. Okay, so that's got to go there. This can't be a 1 or a 2. So it has to touch at least 2 other cells. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I kind of think this works. Yeah, I didn't like have a clear deductive path to get there. It just looked like it should work. Okay, so I mean, there ought to be another hidden puzzle down here, you would think, somehow, right? Like, what is this? I did this one already, okay. It's just a finished puzzle. Hey! Okay, I don't think I want to do a 5 in this video still. But, yeah, okay. Finding these cute little guys can be fun. The cheeky little buggers. Okay, that'll do it for today. We made it through the 7. That was my main goal. And there's still plenty more to do. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.